Yes, good morning, students. So in previous class, we discussed about first law of thermodynamics, different types of process, isothermal process, adiabatic process, isochoric process, okay, isobaric process, these are, and different these process, what is the work done in these processes we have discussed, okay. First law of thermodynamics tells you what, the heat energy that we are supplying to any system or any gas will be utilized in increasing the internal energy of a gas plus some work done. Clear? Clear? Yes. Now, this first law of thermodynamics we will use to find how much work is done on the system or how much work is done by the system and how much internal energy of a gas is increasing, decreasing. And this, it is having some failures, it is having some limitations. What are the limitations of this first law of thermodynamics? First limitation is it does not indicates, it does not indicates the direction of direction of heat transfer. Sorry, heat transfer means from which body to which body heat is transferring. This direction of heat we cannot find by using first law of thermodynamics. Okay. Second thing is, whenever we supply heat energy to the system, whenever, let us imagine here one system is there, okay, one gas is there. If you supply heat energy to the system, this gas, what it will do, it will perform some work done. This first law of thermodynamics, it does not give conditions under which work is done by the system. Okay, this is the second failure of this first law of thermodynamics. Just it says that whenever if you supply heat energy to the system, some internal energy of a system will increases. At the same time, some work will be done on the system or work will be done by the system. But it does not give under which condition work is performed. How this work is performing does not said anything about that. Okay. And last condition is, see here, whenever we are giving some heat energy to the system, what is happening, Anna? Total heat energy is not utilized to perform work. Some part of energy is utilized to increase the energy. If you raise a question, why total heat energy is not converted into work, this first law of thermodynamics cannot explain. Okay, whenever you add some heat energy to system internal energy increases. At the same time, that system will perform some work on its surroundings. Now, whatever the heat energy you are giving to the system, it is not utilized totally to perform some work, to convert that heat energy into some other format. It is not utilizing. Why? What is the reason? This we cannot answer by using first law of thermodynamics. These are the three main limitations of first law of thermodynamics. What are they? First one is, it does not indicate direction of heat transfer. Second one is, it does not give the condition under which heat is work is performed by the system or work is done on the system. Under which conditions this work is performed, we cannot get by using first law of thermodynamics. Third one is, why total heat energy is not able to convert into work done? Why total energy is not able to convert into another form of energies? Why some internal energy is increasing? These are all explanations this first law of thermodynamics is unable to explain. So for this, one more law scientists have formulated, that is the second law of thermodynamics. Second law of thermodynamics. See, this is the law based on observations. This law is based on observations, mainly. What observations? See, scientists, people, they observed how heat engine is working. Heat engine means what? Petrol engine, diesel engine, car, motorbike engines are there, no? That engines, how they are working, what they are doing while they are working, what we required. Steam engine, in olden days, trains are working with the steam engines, no? That steam engines, how they are working. Depending upon that observations, they have formulated this second law. Okay, and refrigerator also. Refrigerator, fridge, how it is working. Depending upon these observations, this second law of thermodynamics is formulated. See, two scientists mainly they have given the statement about the second law of thermodynamics. The first scientist is Kelvin. Kelvin statement. What he has said, he has observed working of heat engine. See, imagine heat engine, what it will do. Heat engine, what it will do, Nana? It will convert heat energy into some mechanical work. Do you know? Yes. Means sometimes see, heat engine means nothing but like a steam engine or diesel engine, car diesel engine or petrol engine. What they will do? We will use fuel, petrol or diesel. That fuel will burn first. That burning fuel will give some heat energy to the engine. Now that engine, by absorbing that heat energy, it will perform some work, so that engine will move, a vehicle will move. Yes, good, correct. Yes, Nichal, correct. Clear? So by burning a fuel like diesel or petrol or coal, heat energy will produce. That heat energy will be absorbed by that heat engine, and that by absorbing heat engine will convert that heat energy into some mechanical energy to move the engines, to move the vehicles, to move the bike, car, train, these are things. Okay. So by observing this, what he has main observation is the working substance in the sense which is converting that heat energy into mechanical energy. That is nothing but in our common language, what we will use in cars, fuel, nothing but diesel or petrol. What it will do? Students, please, for small issues, don't send messages. I'm not pointing out anyone. For small issue means voice clarity, anything. It may be your network issue or my network issue, Nana. Okay, I'll repeat each and every word 2 to 3 times. Okay, no worries. I'll repeat each and every word 2 to 3 times, and everything important points I am writing on this board. Okay, na? Okay. See, why I am pointing out this point is if you send messages, what happened? Due to some network fluctuations where it is receiving messages, you cannot hear clearly my voice. That is the reason why I am saying. It is very serious, then you send, no problem. Okay, na? Okay, why to waste time? What I am saying, working substance, it will absorb some heat energy. In heat engines, I am saying, in heat engines, working substance absorb some heat energy, and by absorbing that heat energy, it will perform some work to run the engine. At the same time, if you see the surroundings of that engine, surroundings will get heated up. Means by absorbing heat energy, working substance will perform some work done, and it will eject some heat energy to the surrounding. Surrounding in the sense a body which is at lower temperature. Okay, this is the statement. This is only the statement given by Kelvin. So what he has said is, he has said that it is impossible. It is impossible to continuously supply work done, okay, by cooling a body which is at lower temperature than its surroundings. This is the statement he has given, Kelvin statement about the second law of thermodynamics. What he said, it is impossible to continuously supply work by cooling a body which is at a lower temperature than its surroundings. Okay, means if you want to cool a body, what it will do? Working substance, it will absorb some heat energy. Okay, so by taking that heat energy, body will cool down. By taking heat energy, working substance, what it will do? It will supply some work done. It will perform some work. Due to that, it will send heat energy to the surrounding. Now, if the surrounding medium is lower temperature, then it cannot perform work. That is what he has said. That means one body is there here. Let us suppose here one body is there. Here one system is there. Okay. If you supply some heat energy to the system, this system will perform some work, and remaining heat energy will be ejected out, rejected to surroundings. When this heat energy will be rejected, when its temperature is this surrounding temperature, its temperature means surrounding temperature, its temperature is lower than this. Otherwise, it cannot eject. If this temperature, surrounding temperature is more, then this working substance cannot eject heat energy, so it cannot perform work. That means for any heat engine to work, its surrounding temperature should be lower than the working substance temperature. Then only it can perform the heat energy. Yes, it can perform the work done. This he has formulated like a law. So according to second law of thermodynamics and according to Kelvin's statement, it is impossible to continuously supply work by cooling a body at a temperature lower than its at a temperature lower than its surroundings. Okay, clear? Understood, Nana? Okay, next. After this statement, one more scientist, he has given one more statement, that is Clausius statement. Clausius statement. Name of this scientist, Nana, he has given one more statement. This statement is based on refrigerators. Sorry. So Clausius statement about second law of thermodynamics is based on which observations, Nana? Refrigerator working. Refrigerator working. Working of refrigerator. Okay. Clear? Yeah. Refrigerator, what it will do, Nana? Think what it will do. Whatever the object will keep inside that refrigerator, it will lower its temperature. It will cool that refrigerator. Bring the temperature of that body which we have kept. One bottle, water bottle we have kept. That water bottle temperature will cools down, comes down when we keep inside the refrigerator. Here, yes. But for that to work, we should have power supply. Means switch we should on. Then only it will cool. Refrigerator will work. Sir, no. Clear? Now by cooling it down, that whatever the temperature from that water body it is removing, the temperature where it is going, it is sending to the surrounding. Refrigerator surrounding, you see, it will be somewhat heated up. Refrigerator surrounding backside, you somewhat you keep your hand, you will feel that temperature. That means refrigerator works like this. Let us imagine one cold body is there. Cold body. This refrigerator, it will absorb heat energy. Refrigerator. Absorb heat energy when we switch on this power supply, means when some work is done on the system. So it will reject some heat energy to the surroundings. I think so you are understanding clearly. Heat engine, what it will do, Nana? Heat engine itself, it will absorb heat energy from hot body, it will perform some work and it will eject some heat energy to the surrounding. Means heat engine give heat energy to the surroundings. Okay, whereas in refrigerator, it will absorb heat energy from a cold body. Refrigerator work is to cool the bodies which are kept inside that. It will absorb some heat energy from bodies which are kept inside that one. When some work is performed, when some work is performed on it, like this, work has to be performed. Then only it will take heat energy from that contents, vegetables, water body. At the same time, it will eject some heat energy to the system. Okay. So by this observation, Kelvin sir, he has given one more statement about second law of thermodynamics. That statement is, it is impossible for a self-acting machine to absorb heat energy from a cold body without performing work on it. That means some external agent has to perform some work done. Work done has to be performed by some external agent, like a power supply. That work should be there on refrigerator. Then only it will subtract some heat energy from your bodies which are at lower temperature and eject some heat energy to the surrounding. Clear? It is impossible for a self-acting machine to absorb heat energy from a body, from a cold body, without performing work on it. This is the statement given by Clausius about the second law of thermodynamics. Means both the statements, once you recall, first statement based on statement is given by Kelvin sir. It is based on working of heat engines. So that statement is, what is that statement I have given, Nana? First law of thermodynamics. Yes, it is impossible to continuously supply work by cooling a body which is at lower temperature than its surroundings. Clear? Means the heat engine will absorb heat energy, and by absorbing heat energy, it will perform some work and it will eject some heat energy to the surrounding. Continuously, it has to perform some work, means the surrounding temperature should be lower than system temperature. Then only it can do. Otherwise, it cannot do. This is the statement, second law of thermodynamics, Kelvin's statement. Now, Clausius statement, what, Nana? it is impossible for a self-acting machine to absorb heat energy from a cold body without performing work on that working substance. We need to perform some work done on the working substance. Then only it can absorb heat energy. Otherwise, it cannot. Clear? Two statements are important for your board exams, Nana. They may ask you. So you need to revise. You need to revise these two. Okay? Yes. Now, after this, let us discuss about, see, we have discussed different types of thermodynamic processes like isobaric process, isothermal process, isochoric process, adiabatic process, cyclic process. Okay. Now there are two more different processes are there. Na? They are reversible process, and irreversible process. Topic is important for your board exams. You need to remember this important point. What is reversible process? Basic sense. Any thermodynamic process you take, if you reverse it in exactly same way, whatever you have performed while this, when you are taking from one state to another state, if you come back to the same state in each and every state, whatever you have done, same thing if you perform back, and if you reach back to the same state, then the type of process is called as reversible process. Clear? Did you understand? Clear? Any process which can be proceed in a reverse direction with equal ease, okay, with equal ease and with the equal variations as it is performing in initial state in a forward process. Okay, the type of process are called as a reversible process. Okay, clear, students? Now there are some conditions are there for this reversible process to occur. That is, first condition is reversible process means, I think so you understand very easy. If you bring back same state of any thermodynamic process, then that process is called as reversible process. But the condition is whatever you have done in a forward process, when you are going from one state, for example, from this state to this state you are going, state A to state B you are going. In this process, while you are going, whatever we have performed, while coming back also, if you perform same thing, and if you come back to the same original state, then the type of process is called as reversible process. Okay. So there are mainly two important points are there, important conditions are there for this reversible process. First one process is, okay, it should occur at a very slow rate. Means slow processes. Okay. For example, you consider expansion of gas. It should not happen quickly. Slowly it should expand, and slowly it should compress. It should not happen like this. Slowly. Up to what volume it has to expand, that much it will expand. But it will take a lot of time, infinite time. Imagine. Very slow processes, very slow expansion, very slow compression of ideal gas. Okay. So for a reversible process to take place, a thermodynamic process should proceed at a very slow rate. Okay, this is the main condition. So first condition. Second condition is there should be no dissipative forces. Dissipative forces. Dissipative forces means what now? The forces which will absorb some heat energy when we are performing some work, like non-conservative forces, like frictional force. Okay, these are this type of force. They should not include in doing some work in a thermodynamic process. Okay, this type of forces they should not include. Okay, clear? Frictional force, viscosity. This type of forces, they should not be there in a thermodynamic process. Then that process will be reversible process. See, in nature, in reality, there is no perfect reversible process, because we cannot achieve the same state as it is before when you have done some work. Again, we cannot bring it back to the same state. Somehow 99% we can bring it back, but 100% we cannot bring. So that's why in reality there is no perfect reversible process. But some processes we will take them as reversible processes. Best example for this, ideal gas. You take ideal gas, expansion and compression should happen at a very slow rate. That type of processes are called as reversible processes. Okay, all thermal processes which proceeds at a very slow rate, very slowly they should expand and they should compress. That type of process, any type of thermal process, but it should happen at a very slow rate. That process is called as reversible process. I think so you understand what is reversible process. Important, they may ask you what is reversible process or what is irreversible process, or they may ask you to give examples for reversible process. Like that they may ask you for your board exam. Important questions, it is a previous year question. Okay, clear? Now coming back to irreversible process. Sorry. Yes, coming back to irreversible process. In irreversible process means any process which cannot be proceed back is called as irreversible process. Clear? Okay, example for this is sudden expansion, sudden compression are irreversible processes. Sudden expansion and sudden compression. Okay, sudden expansion or compression. One more example is mixing of two gases. See, if two gases are there, if you allow to mix them, immediately they'll mix. Means it will occur at very fast rate. We cannot bring them back to the same initial state. So it is a reversible process. Another example, if you want, I can give you dissolving of salt or sugar in water. You know this very easy. We cannot separate again salt and water, no, once it is dissolved. So it is a irreversible process. Clear, students? Okay, so there are two processes are there. They are reversible process and irreversible process. Reversible process means any thermodynamic process which will reverse back to the initial state. While you are reversing it back, whatever you have performed in the forward case, same thing you should do in reverse case also. Okay, and there are two conditions are there for this reversible process to occur. They are that processes should proceeds at very slow rate, means slowly they should happen. Okay, and second thing is while performing this reversible process, there should be no dissipative forces, like there should be no non-conservative forces. There should not be there any non-conservative force like frictional force, viscosity force, inelastic forces. This type of forces should not be there in reversible processes. Examples for reversible processes: ideal gas expansion and compression at very slow rate. Best example. Second example, if you want, you can take any thermal process which is occurring at very slow rate. Okay, two examples enough. Irreversible process means any thermodynamic process which cannot be proceed back is called as irreversible process. And in irreversible process, there may be some dissipative forces present, means like frictional forces or viscous force. This type of forces may be present. Okay, clear? And example for this irreversible process is sudden expansion and sudden compression of ideal gas, mixing of two gases, dissolving of salt or sugar in water. These are irreversible processes. Okay, Anna? Yes. Now, next topic is about heat engine. Or you can say it is a Carnot's heat engine. What is heat engine? What it will do, Nana? Heat engine? Heat engine, what it will do? Heat engine is nothing but it is any device which will convert. It will convert heat energy. It will convert heat energy into mechanical work or mechanical energy, we can say. That device is called as heat engine. Okay. Now, every heat engine has mainly three main parts. Every heat engine will have, Nana. They are source. Second one is sink. Third one is working substance. Working substance. Okay. Every heat engine has three main parts, Nana. What are the three main parts of that heat engine? First one is source. Second one is called as sink. Third one is called as working substance. See, heat engine, how it will work. See, it is important, Nana. This point is important. You need to learn it very clearly. Okay. Yes. See here, heat engine. First, it will have a source. It will have a source which is maintained at a very high temperature. Let us imagine. Okay. Now it will have some working substance. Working substance. And it will have a one sink. Sink it will have, whose temperature is T2. Okay. Now this working substance, first it will absorb some heat energy. It will absorb some heat energy from a source. Okay. Now by absorbing some heat energy from the source, working substance, it will perform some work. It will perform some work by rejecting some heat energy to the sink. Now how much work it will perform is nothing but Q1 minus Q2. This much work it will perform. This is the diagram, Nana, for heat engine. You need to draw it. Very important. So every heat engine has three things: source, working substance, and sink. First, let us think about source. Let us discuss about source. Source is nothing but any thing which is at a very higher temperature. And this source specific heat capacity should be very high. Means whatever the heat energy that you will take from the source, its temperature should not decrease. It will be maintained at a higher temperature only always. That we can achieve by taking source having high specific heat capacity. Source work is to supply heat energy to the working substance. That is the work of the source. Clear? Now, this working substance, what it will do? It will absorb heat energy from source. Now from this heat energy Q1, it will reject some heat energy to the sink by performing some work. That work is nothing but Q1 minus Q2. Working substance, you can take some ideal gas, you can take ideally gas you take. That is a working substance. Clear? And now let us come back to the sink. Sink has a nature that it will take heat energy always without any increase in its temperature. Sink will be always maintained at a lower temperature, T2 only always. So its specific capacity is also high. Its temperature should not change when it is having high specific capacity. Are you understanding, students, what I am saying? Clear? It will have three main parts: source, sink, working substance. Source is always maintained at higher temperature T1. Sink is always maintained at a lower temperature T2. Now, working substance, it will take heat energy from hot body, that is from source, and it will reject some heat energy to the cold body, that is nothing but sink, by performing some work done, that is Q1 minus Q2. Now, depending upon this working substance, efficiency of this engine will be there. Let us imagine you take a steam engine. Imagine steam engine you take. The steam engine efficiency is just 10 to 12% only. Whereas if you take a petrol engine efficiency is about 26%. Whereas if you take a diesel engine has an efficiency of 40%. So that is the reason why diesel cars they will prefer more, because they will give more efficiency, means more mileage it will give. Are you understanding? So this efficiency depends upon working substance, means how much work it is performing. Clear? Yes. So students, time is less than 1 minute is there. We will discuss this topic in next class. Okay. Efficiency derivation is there. One big derivation is there for 5-mark question. It is important for your board exam also. We will discuss that topic in next class, Nana. Okay. I hope you understand it very clearly. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Bye.